What's up, everybody? I'm Jonathan the Baptist, and today we're going to talk about Biden maybe starting World War III. um, it's not an accusation. I don't know who did this, but just this week, we found three leaks, and I've heard rumors that there might be a fourth now that was just found, but I could be wrong about that. So, but there's three leaks on the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines. I'm pretty sure it's both. Because that was one of the things that threw me off when I heard that was Nord Stream pipeline was leaking. I was like, oh, this could be just a fluke. Maybe they didn't put it in there right. It is brand new. Maybe this is something normal. But when I heard that it was both of them, I was like, oh, that's a little more interesting. That's what I've heard. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But I'm pretty sure I've heard that both of them are leaking, and there's three places that they are leaking. Well, what they've also been reported, and this is days old information, so whatever. But they have heard that there were seismic anomalies that happened around the time that they started leaking, supposedly, and they think that someone used explosives and sabotage. And I think just yesterday, NATO has declared that it was sabotage. So I don't know what they're basing that on. I haven't seen the evidence. That's what I've heard. So there's been a lot of finger pointings this week about who exactly sabotaged these pipelines, because this is a major import for Europe from Russia for gas, and winter's a coming. So a lot of NATO, of course, is blaming Russia, obviously, because of course they're going to do that. But I feel like that doesn't make any sense to me. Now, Putin does a lot of strategies that don't make sense to me, like, I don't know, invading another country. Although, to be fair, if the U.S. invaded Canada or Mexico, I don't know. We joke about that all the time, but I mean, it's Canada. Like, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Here, take our land. We're happy to be U.S." Nah, that's a joke. That's a joke. Anyways, so yeah. Just to invade another country, that's not a Western ideal anymore. We've progressed beyond that. For now, I think that if there is another world war, things are going to be different after. So who knows what the world will look like after all this settles down. But anyways, I don't think Russia. It doesn't make sense to me that Russia is the one behind all this, because this is like their big financer, and like it seems like they are pretty low on money, or they're struggling to pay for their war machine right now. So it doesn't make sense for them to cut off their biggest, profit. So more likely for me to understand is maybe this is Ukraine. Everybody, I haven't heard a lot of people talk about maybe this is Ukraine that has done this. And I feel like if my country were being invaded, like crippling the invading country's source of revenue seems to be like high on the priority list of sabotage, But the plot thickens because this is about Joe Biden. So in February, Biden was doing a press event, and let's listen to what he says here. This is in February. All right, here we go.
Let me answer the first question first. If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that exactly? Since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control.
We will, I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
What? What? Uh, Now this is months ago. Now obviously this isn't proof. When I heard about this, I actually thought this was like last week that he said it, but no, it's actually back in February. And yeah, so what happens? Russia does actually invade Ukraine, and well, Nord Stream, it's still around, but then suddenly, this past week, there seems to be sabotage. Now, I've heard reports. I don't know how true this is, so I'm just gonna clarify that I don't know the truthfulness of this. Um, Supposedly, we had divers in the area. The U.S. did. I don't know how true that is, but this is pretty suspicious. But I will say, if it's true that the Biden administration attacked Russia, I think that we need to impeach him. Like, I think that that's cause for war. Like the U.S., we don't go to war as the initiator. A defensive war is one thing. That's a justifiable war. That's World War One. That's World War Two. I might have disagreed with it, but it would have made sense to go to the defense of Ukraine when they were invaded, if we were going to do it at all, which we decided apparently not to. For better or worse, I'm not necessarily for going to fight Russia. But if we were going to, hypothetically, if we were going to fight Russia, it should have been done in defense of Ukraine back in the day. Now, we've basically gone to war with Russia without actually going to war, because we're basically funding Ukraine's defense, which, like, the guns and money that we're sending to Ukraine is being used in the war. So I don't see how you're not at war already. And Russia basically agrees with that. They're saying that we are at war. But like, waiting 5 months and then, like, secretly blowing up their pipelines, that's uncalled for. That's an act of aggression that was, like, uncalled for. We're at this unease right now, but we've kind of settled to some extent. I mean, there is active fighting in Russia and Ukraine, but I'm talking about tensions between the U.S. and Russia. They're not great, but, like, neither has made an aggression against each other. But if this is true, and Joe Biden actually did, or his administration, because I don't think Joe Biden's really actually making decisions in the White House. I mean, let's be real. The man can't put a sentence together half the time, and they think that he's leading the country. No. But if the administration did, like, do that, I think that this would be something that good for the FBI to investigate. We should be bringing criminal charges on any person in the government that has done this. So I'm hopeful that the Biden administration is not that stupid to attack Russia that's in the middle of war mode. Also, like, winter's coming for Europe, and they're not ready. They are not ready for the winter. It's going to be really bad over there. So I think that if this is the Biden administration, They've really caused a lot of pain. I don't think the Biden administration would do that. I don't think that they're that stupid. I hope not. I hope that they're smart enough to say, yeah, this is not a good idea. But I don't know. They're not super smart over there. They've done a lot of dumb stuff, including letting the Nord Stream 2 pipe get finished in the first place. Like, anyways, I just think that's really interesting that all this has happened. It's just the plot thickens. So we could see a world war in my lifetime, which I never thought I'd say. I really hope that we don't. I don't want to see a hot civil war in my lifetime. But that seems just as likely. There's some interesting, theoretical discussions we could have as to what that would look like. I hope that it just stays in the category of interesting and doesn't go anywhere beyond that. Yeah. So let me know what you think, guys. I wouldn't rule out some of the European nations from doing this. I also wouldn't rule out some extremists. That's a third party that has nothing to do with any of the countries. Maybe they have affiliations with a country, but they're not acting on behalf of a country. I would not be surprised if there were some climate extremists who hate the pipeline and want to get us off of gas, and so they blew up. And they also hate Russia because of Ukraine or whatever. And it would not surprise me if somebody took it upon themselves to end the war in Ukraine, because I think the next step is really Putin's going to make this a nuclear war. He's only going to do it in Ukraine, and I think that Biden is such a weak president that he'll get away with it if he does. But we'll see. We'll see. This is why I think it's good not to trust in your government. The only one that we can really rely on is God, and He is good. He always does the right thing for us, whereas governments and powers and principalities, they don't really care about us. So there's the thought for the day. Trust God, not government. Government will always let you down. God will never let you down. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment. Who is the mystery saboteur? Had to get that fancy word in there, saboteur. Hope y'all have a great day. Catch you next time. Peace.